Yes, peeps. What's happening? Hope everyone is well. Hope everyone's enjoying the lovely weather outside. We're back with another episode of the finished article, all things football, and we're covering the roundup of the Champions League and Europa League fixtures from the recently concluded from last week. Now, we should be talking about the roundup. We should be covering who went through, but guess what, guys? Let's just bring it up. This week, we're being covered by the European Super League dominating discussion, i.e., the Big Six, Chelsea, Spurs, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United, and Man City have all decided to join a Super League and want to withdraw from the Champions League and Europa League because they wanted to grab all the money for themselves. I mean, where do I start with this? Absolutely disgusting behavior. No regard for the fans. But you know what? Before I kick off, I'm gonna bring my boy in, Shaz. Bring a big up to my boy. What's happening? What's happening, bro? Yes, Shaz. How's it going, man? You all right?
Yes, Shaz. How are we doing, bro?
We're all good. So, boys,
Nice.
my boy Shaz, the co-host. And we should, as I mentioned, we should be talking about all things Champions League and Europa League as the title says. But guess what?
Yes, bro.
The ticker below has dominated discussion. Just recently, I've heard that Chelsea are preparing a formal letter to withdraw from the tournament because of the backlash outside of Stamford Bridge right now. This is breaking news. So Chelsea are playing Brighton, but the game's being overshadowed by the fact that you've got Chelsea supporters outside Stamford Bridge. They're unhappy. And guess what? The whole of the football world is in disbelief about this whole situation.
Of course, we went through it yesterday in the video, didn't we, about the Super League and how stupid this all is. But yeah, this video is about the Champions League and the Europa League. I don't know if you want to go through the results for the Champions League first or the Europa League.
Yeah, so let's kick off. So, by the way, whilst we go through some of these results, we still don't know what the outcome of these European discussions are going to be and whether these teams might be potentially kicked out. But you know what? I'm gonna make a start, Shaz.
Yes.
So we're going to start with the Champions League quarterfinals. Chelsea, in the first leg, they played Porto away from home and won 2-1. And last week we basically had the return of the second leg, so they were at home. And Chelsea won. I mean, apologies, Chelsea lost. Porto scored a worldie, but it wasn't enough to get them through. So Chelsea are now through to the semi-final. You know what? I have to say, Thomas Tuchel in his short time at Chelsea has done absolute wonders. Not because of players he's brought in, because he's brought no one in. From my perspective, he's just a good manager.
He's done well. He's done well with the squad that he had.
So if you look at Oli, you look at Arteta, you look at Lampard, these are actually they're not bad managers. But what you got to look at is with experienced managers, they know how to get the best out of a player. Look at Alex Ferguson. He had some absolute rubbish players in his last season, but you know what? He knew how to get the best out of them.
Yeah, so, no, of course. You bang on. The manager of Chelsea's done well. He's done wonders there. Chelsea winning the whole quarter-final, going through to the semi-final. I wasn't expecting Chelsea to really get knocked out at this stage because I thought before the games that they had enough to knock Porto out and go through, which they've done.
No, they have. I think. Let's be honest. Chelsea have had a kind run so far, and actually, let's be honest. We're being a bit harsh. They did actually go and beat Atletico Madrid to get to this stage. So big up to them for putting one over Diego Simeone, who's known for being a specialist in this competition. But guys, before I carry on and let Shaz take over the next game, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment below. As always, without your support, we couldn't do this without you. Go for it, bro.
Yeah, so the next game I'm going to go on to is so we have PSG versus Bayern Munich. This game was 3-2, I believe, from the first leg.
Yeah.
To PSG. Bayern won the second leg 1-0, but it wasn't enough. They got knocked out. PSG went through on 3-3 with the away goals. I was quite shocked about this. I was expecting Bayern to go through because they are the reigning champions. I was expecting them to at least get to the final, maybe a semi-final, and obviously at least try and defend the title a little bit more. But yeah, these things happen. PSG have got good talent. They've got Mbappe. They've got Neymar. They've got Icardi. They've got some good players. So it's not that much of a shock that they won and went through.
Let me sum it up for the viewers that are watching. Shaz's reaction to that game basically meant Kylian Mbappe killed it in the first leg. So by the time the Germans turned up in Paris, all they were doing was eating croissants for dinner because they didn't even take anything out of that. I mean,
yes,
Choupo-Moting scored for Bayern against his former club. I mean, that guy's a serial winner. He's been at Stoke City. He's been at PSG. He's been at Bayern. Man's like a living legend around these parts as well. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough for them. Now, I'm actually glad that PSG got through because I think they're a decent side, and I want to see Mbappe succeed.
Yeah, definitely.
And as I said, I wanted the semi-finals, which we'll touch upon, to be between the what did you call the semi-final that we wanted? The oil.
The oil classico, bro.
Oil classico, absolutely, yes. So we'll touch upon that shortly. But yes, absolutely fantastic result from PSG to take them to the semi-final. And then moving on. So next game I'm going to cover. This is one of the games of the tournament I was looking forward to. So you had your boys, Borussia Dortmund versus Man City. So this is Haaland versus Kevin De Bruyne and Jadon Sancho coming back to haunt Man City. Well, that's what we all hoped for. Now the first leg ended up with Man City winning 2-1.
Yes.
And it was actually a lot closer at the Etihad than many expected. Sterling came up with a last-minute winner, but Dortmund did well, but they still got the away goal. In the return leg, Borussia Dortmund fans tried to distract Man City by lighting up fireworks the night before. Unfortunately, it didn't seem to have an impact or the desired impact because Man City ended up winning 2-1. Away from home, so Jude Bellingham got the winner. And actually, with Bellingham scoring, they were actually on to qualify. Then a dubious penalty, again, VAR screwing things up. Dubious, I say. Emre Can apparently headed the ball onto his hand, and for me,
it didn't really look that bad. But VAR and the referee decided it's a penalty. It's a penalty, isn't it? So what can you do? I'm not too surprised City got through. I wasn't expecting them to do as well as they did, winning 4-2 on aggregate. I thought Dortmund would have put up a bigger fight, to be fair. But well done to City, and I don't say that often. I'm not a City fan. I don't like them that much. But yeah, credit where it's due. They did well. They beat Dortmund. They're through to the semi-final. They could even go on and win this.
I'm just going to sum it up by saying that basically Man City got over their quarterfinal hoodoo because they've lost there in the last couple of years. The last time they reached the semi-final was under Manuel Pellegrini. So absolutely fantastic achievement for them. But guess what, boys? It ain't over yet. I'm gonna let Shaz wrap up the last game before we touch upon the exciting part.
So the last game was Liverpool taking on Real Madrid. Second leg was at Anfield. Coming into the fixture, it was 3-1 to Real Madrid. On the night, second leg ended 0-0. A boy draw. But Liverpool got knocked out, so it's not all boring, people. Liverpool got knocked out. Real Madrid are through to the semi-final. That's all I wanted to hear in that. I wanted to see Liverpool lose, Real Madrid to get through. I'm happy with that result at the end of that day, bro.
I got to say one thing, though. Liverpool absolutely battered Madrid in that second leg. I kid
Yeah,
you
of
not.
course. They put the pressure on.
Hear me out. So they battered them, but it seems like they left their shooting boots at home because
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Should have been, but you know what?
Well, just before you finish this game off, Shaz, looking at the stats, Liverpool had 15 shots, but only 4 on target. They had 57% possession and 83 passing accuracy, compared to Real Madrid, who had 6 shots, 2 on target, and 78 pass accuracy. So Liverpool, you're right, they did dominate that game, but yeah, they left the shooting boots at home like they have all season. They've not scored many goals. They've not done that well this season, and that's why they are where they are. Out of the Champions League, mid-table in the Premier League. What else can you say about it? It's been a brilliant season for Liverpool, hasn't it?
It depends on your definition of a brilliant. But guys, you know what? If there are any Liverpool fans watching, then leave us some comments. What you think? How your season's gone? I mean, could you have done anything differently, or is it just a case?
They could have done plenty differently, bro. They could have scored more goals.
Well,
they could have won more games. Do you know what I
mean? They could have found a replacement for Virgil van Dijk, who has literally been the rock of their defense.
They're blaming the whole season and everything on losing Virgil van Dijk. Let's not get into that. I'm not going to go into that, bro. I'm definitely not going into that in this video. We'll be here all night. Moving on from that, the semi-finals we've been left with are Real Madrid versus Chelsea on the 27th of April, and PSG versus Man City, the Oil Classico on Wednesday the 28th. And the second leg is on the 4th and the 5th of May. Real Madrid and PSG are at home in the first leg. Second leg, obviously, City and Chelsea will be at home.
You know what? I'm looking forward to that PSG City final. I think that for me is
I'm really looking forward to that. I'm hoping Mbappe comes in and smashes City to out of the cup, bro. That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting Real Madrid to actually beat Chelsea, but with the way Chelsea are doing it, I wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea actually win that and go through to the final.
See, guys, this is why I mentioned at the start of the video about the European Super League. So if you look at it, Liverpool and Chelsea, although Chelsea's place is now under contention, are actually part of this Super League that's been put forward.
Yeah.
Now, UEFA could decide, you know what, guys, we're going to pull you out because you're deciding to do one. That's why I said.
What happens if City and Real Madrid and Chelsea get into this? It leaves PSG on their own in a semi-final. So does that mean that they're the winners? What happens to the rest of that? What happens to the rest of the Premier League and all that?
Exactly, guys. So the way I see it is, and this is a question I raised on a different forum yesterday, is that, guys, what happens? Do you reckon they'll get a bye? Do you reckon PSG and Madrid will get a bye to the final?
They wouldn't, though, because Madrid aren't Madrid in the European Super League anyway, so they get knocked out to the UEFA.
And then that means it's PSG's. It's PSG.
Yeah, but does that just mean PSG win by default for their first Champions League trophy, that they win it by default without actually?
Who's left in there? Who's left in there to play?
Yeah, but no, that's what I'm saying. Does it mean that PSG win, or does it mean that the rest of the cup is void? You know what are UEFA going to do? Yeah, they're threatening the clubs that we're going to take you out of these cups, you're suspended or banned or whatever. But are they really going to do that? Are they really going to ruin the rest of the competition?
This is my take on this, and I won't drag too much on this because we'll cover the Europa League as well. Just sum this up, because the way I see it is, these big clubs have been asking UEFA to do something about the financial revenue. Now, I actually, about the European Super League, I actually like the concept. I think it's a great way, rather than having 36 teams in one table and you play 10-10. The way the Super League concept,
it's two groups of 10.
But obviously, I don't like the fact that they've created a Super League. They should have worked with UEFA to.
Yeah, they should have worked with UEFA to change the format of the Champions League and the Europa League. What they could have potentially done is merge the Champions League and Europa League together, right? And had two sets of groups, and then the winners of them, so you've got the Champions League group on one side and the UEFA group on the Europa League on the other, and then obviously just carry on as they did that they're going to do in the Super League. Or they could just change the format of both of them to match the same as this new Super League, and that way they could potentially be talking to the same financial backers as the Super League and get that backing for the Champions League and the Europa League. But this is UEFA being corrupt. That I'm not going to say much more on it. We spoke about this in yesterday's video, bro.
I'm not going to say that what the guys did was right, because obviously the owners have their own agenda. But you can tell this has been stemming from a history of UEFA just not paying attention. Now, I can understand if Chelsea don't want to play Maribor, which I saw a few years ago. I can understand the mismatches don't work, but this should be a wake-up call to UEFA to guys, we need to start stepping our game up, because these guys are going to bounce. But anyway, guys, we're going to touch upon the Europa League now. So I'm going to let Shaz kick off with the first game, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, so I'm going to start off with my boys Man United, because why not? Second leg, they won 2-0. They won the first leg 2-0 as well. No surprises. They beat a team that they were due to beat. No surprises. There's not really much to talk about. United did what they needed to do, and got everything sorted. What are your thoughts on the game, though, on both legs, bro?
Yeah, I think, let's be honest, it was almost like a practice session for the guys. Although we did make it a lot harder than it needed to be. Man United could have turned up and been a bit more clinical, but you know what?
Yeah, of course. This is Man United we're talking about, bro. They do this all the time. They make things harder for themselves.
This is Man United in 2021 when you've got McFred in midfield. I mean, we used to have...
Hey, come on, bro. What's your complaint about McFred, bro? It's a good partnership. They do well.
Oh yeah, they do well. I don't disagree. So when Fred went forward and scored, that's what you want to see. Not Fred sitting back and defending Harry Maguire, who's 18 million. What I'm trying to say is, let the defense take care of the defense. I mean, if you're not good enough to defend, then you shouldn't be a defender. Does that make sense?
Bang on, bro. You bang on.
It's like you got the security guards protecting the president. I'm like, geez, boys, you know what? You need to move up the pitch rather than sitting back. But you know what?
Yeah, but that's not down to Fred or McTominay. Let's be honest. That's down to Solskjaer telling them to be defensive midfielders instead of being maybe just like a box-to-box midfielder.
McTominay's got goals in him. I've seen the guy score some goals. And Fred scored his first goal in 78 games. Okay, not the best record, but you know what? Fair enough if he went forward. Anyway, moving on, guys. We then got Roma versus Ajax, and this ended up 1-1 on the night. And Roma... surprise winners, in my opinion, because I actually had Ajax.
I was expecting Ajax to win as well, bro. It is a shock. But I don't know if you remember, bro. In our prediction video on thoughts, I did say Roma are a good team, so don't underestimate them. Basically, and I was right. That they are a good team, and I wasn't expecting them to win because I thought Ajax had more than enough to beat them, but proved everybody wrong. And now they're through to the semi-final against United.
Yeah, so Edin Dzeko scored the crucial goal on the night to help them get through. Dzeko doing the business, so they ended winners on the night. I mean, not much apart from the fact that we all expected Ajax to get through, or Shaz predicted right that Roma are a decent side.
I don't even think I predicted Roma to win. I might have actually said Ajax, but I remember saying in one video that Roma are a good team and you shouldn't really underestimate a team like that.
No,
that's what I was trying to say.
That is fair enough.
So, I mean, the next match I'm going to jump on to, Shaz, if it's okay with you, is Arsenal versus Slavia Praha. What can I say? Arsenal did what they needed to do. They won. The first leg was a 1-1 at home for Arsenal. They made it hard on themselves going into the second leg. This is Arsenal being Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? I know some Arsenal fans, and I'm not trying to take any digs at them, but this is Arsenal. This is what Arsenal do. They make things hard for themselves, and it's what United do as well. I don't know why clubs do it. this game, the first leg, Arsenal should have had in the bag. But second leg, they did what they needed to do. They won 4-0 on the night, 5-1 on aggregate, through to the other semi-final against the winner of the next game that Shazad is about to talk about after we finish this one.
And then finishing up, we've got Villarreal versus Animal Zagreb, and Villarreal ended up winning 3-1 on aggregate. So this basically, I kind of expected Villarreal to win because Unai Emery, Europa League specialist, from winning it with Sevilla, and they ended up winning 3-1 overall. And I believe, Emery has won the competition 3 times when he was in charge of Sevilla. He took Arsenal to the final in 2018, 2019, where they lost to Chelsea. So the guy's got pedigree for this competition. But we'll touch upon the semi-finals later and what impact that will have on that. But I think just it was a standard routine performance. Really, not much else to say on that.
Not bang on. So I mean, the semi-finals, United are at home to Roma on the 29th, Villarreal at home to Arsenal on the same day. Second leg, Roma at home on the 6th of May, and then Arsenal are at home on the same day. We'll do another video on the rest of the Champions League fixtures, the semi-finals, and the Europa League. We'll do that maybe next week or over the weekend or something like that. But I mean, some of these games were pretty good. United made it hard on themselves, as I said. But that's just United being United, and I'm gonna be truthful here. United can't do that against Roma.
No, they just step up.
I don't think it was the last time we played them, but we played them once and beat them 7-2. That was a very long time ago because I was back in our college days or something like that. That's a good long time ago. That brought.
When Chaz was at college, it was when Cristiano Ronaldo was actually playing for Man United. That's how far back we have to go.
It might have not been college days. I think it was just after college, to be fair. But it was quite a long time ago. And I enjoyed. I remember I didn't even watch the game because I was working that day. I remember working that day. I had one of those. At the time, it was a new Sony Ericsson phone with Walkman phone with a radio built in, but you had to have your headphones plugged in to actually get the radio to work. And I took mine to work with me with the with my headset, and I was listening to the game whilst I was working. And I was working in retail at the time, and the store was closed, just so you know. I was just walking around the store, cleaning stuff up and putting stuff back with the game on in my ear, walking past people saying, "Oh, 1-0 to United, 2-0 to United, 3-0 to United." Every time I was walking past my mate, I was telling him United had scored, and he wouldn't believe me.
Yeah,
it was just one of them. But it was a good game, though. I remember that.
Indeed,
good times, bro. Good times.
As always, guys. But thank you very much for tuning in to this episode. And guess what? As predicted, breaking news: Chelsea have withdrawn from the European Super League.
Has that just come out now?
It's literally just come as we speak.
Wow.
You can't see it, but yeah, you can see it if anyone can see that. Yeah, there you go.
So they've withdrawn from the Super League.
Yeah, they withdrew because obviously of the pressure. So now it'll be interesting to see how the rest of it pans out. I knew it was never going to happen, but guys, you know what? We will touch upon this in a separate video. But as always, please leave a like.
Go, boys. Breaking news right here on the finished article. Absolutely. Chelsea withdraw from the European Super League.
Boom.
We will discuss this in a further video because obviously that's the first team that has actually withdrawn. So we will talk about that later and what type of impact this could have on the other teams and the rest of that league. But for now, that's all for now. So we will see you again in the next video. But until then, stay safe and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Take it easy, guys.